Okay, we are recording. This is Wednesday night, June 30th, July 30th, right? Is it the 30th? Yeah, okay.
The 30th.
All right, you guys. This has been, I'm surprised at how well our team has done, given this has been convention month and a huge vacation. July is typically not a fantastic month, but you guys have come back from convention and all of you kind of got on fire. Linda is on fire and she's really close to breaking her next level. And so I'm really been, amazingly surprised at how great this has been. So before we go into our takeaways, I have a couple things I want to go over real quick. First of all, let's really keep the energy up on the Facebook page. I know it. Just take a couple minutes and say something, post something on there, encourage each other. Ask your client, if your client tells you something really fantastic about their week, just make a note on your computer, a sticky note or something, and say something like, would you go post that on Facebook for us? That would really encourage somebody else who might be struggling with whatever. So really encourage your clients to do that, and let's get the energy up. Let's keep the energy up, especially for the new clients. We're all in action. We're all on fire. And as new clients come on, it's going to be really fun to have that Facebook page much more interactive and much more relevant. So that's the first thing I want to say is Facebook. Now, are you guys, before I go there, also, if you're one of my frontline coaches, if you are a coach of coaches, take a moment, go to your back office, and look and see where they are. While your downline coaches are. Somebody, honestly, I have one coach. Mahala's not here. I have one coach that's like $36 from going to the next rank. Yeah. So, we're working together. We're going to figure this out. I don't think Linda is going to mind me. Linda's like $320 from going ED. So we just kind of figured this out today by looking in the back office, seeing what the frontline volume is and all that. So if you're a coach of coaches, take a moment, look at where they are and see if you can help them. If they're just a short, if they're one order away or a couple of boxes of crackers away from ranking up, help them and build your team. First of all, that will give them more money and they'll increase their commission. If they're worthy of it, if they're a coach that's working, help them. If they're a lazy coach and they're not doing anything and just they've happened to rank as far as they've ranked just by reorders and they're not really servicing their clients, then you be the judge of that and you really use discernment whether you need to help them or not. But if they're an on-fire coach and they're working, they're calling you and they're supporting their coaches and they're close, help them rank up and stay in touch. It'll help their commission. And then it just psychologically and emotionally and mentally, it's a boost, man. Start the next month off and you just finished as ED or just finished as manager. That's fantastic. And you're going to, keep going, keep that momentum going. So look in your back office, check for your downline. And if you're a coach and you don't have coaches below you, check out your own and see where you are. And you've got 36 hours to do it. So check that out. Now, the 12-week transformation, stop, challenge, choose, and the 6-week transformation, right? You guys know there's two things happening, correct? And they're confusing, correct?
Yeah.
Thank you. So here's the deal. We're not going to, you can do what you want. You can do absolutely what you want to do. But there's going to be confusion with your clients. If we posture a 12-week transformation that's supposed to start soon, I don't know when it starts. August 1st, maybe? Is that when it starts? I don't know when it starts.
August 4th.
August 4th. Okay. So if we posture that and then 2 weeks later, we start telling our clients, oh, we have a 6-week meltdown challenge starting, So, we could posture the 12-week transformation. We could say, hey, we're so excited. There's a 12-week transformation starting and we're going to get all on board. And then 2 weeks later, we say, oh, wow, we're so excited. There's a 6-week transformation starting, right? And they're going to go, what? So they're going to be very confused. So let's, you can do what you want, but the 6-week one is really superior, I think. The website's going to be much more helpful. You will be much more involved with your own clients. And it's going to be run. Who did it last time? The 6-week summer meltdown to summer challenge. Okay, so just Kathy and I. Kathy, give me your feedback. Unmute.
There we are. No, I thought it was really good. It actually, all the videos and the lessons that were up were really good. I mean, some of them I had heard, some I hadn't, but it really just kept me, because I'm still working on my last 20 pounds. It really kept me motivated, so I know it helped my other clients that were on it. Not too many were on it, but it helped me a lot. So if we can get clients on there, I think the talk and the getting people talking would really help. I don't even care if I post something or I see pictures. That just really keeps me in the mindset and helps me stay, on track.
Great. I loved it too. I loved it. I have not been a huge supporter of these challenges, and this one lit me up.
Well, because you could still earn money even if you didn't win, right? So you could get your money back and more if you really took, any of the lessons and you stayed on track. And it was kind of like a little healthy competition and who had the most points. Right. It was very easy to get points. And when you sign people up, you get points for that. So it wasn't that hard. And even though I didn't lose a ton of weight, I really could have won if I had just been, maybe even went on it every day. But I could see the help that it gave to other people. So it was good.
Mm-hmm. I like this too, because we're not going to you don't have to be a client to be in the challenge.
Right.
So I think there's going to be a lot of steam and a lot of energy going into this. The challenge window starts, the challenge wall starts August 18th. The challenge doesn't start till September 15th. But you can start signing people up and getting them in the system. So here's the deal. It's going to be a great talking point. I've already contacted, I found a Facebook friend. She's my daughter's age. She's 26 or something. She's in the MBA program down at Fresno State. And I saw that she's a wellness coordinator at Fresno State in the office. And so I texted her and I Facebooked her. I didn't have her phone number. Facebooked her and said, "Hey, Katie, I'd love to chat with you about what you do." And so she Facebooked me right back. "Sure, here's my phone number." So I called her. So I sent her a bunch of stuff. She is going to go back to her supervisor at Fresno State. She's on vacation right now, but she's going to talk to her supervisor about how we can maybe use this challenge to help with her wellness package at Fresno State.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know, it's so cool. So it's a great talking point. It's a great place. I went to I have a girlfriend who runs an office at a CPA firm, and I said, "Hey, Tina, I'm super excited. We have this 6-week challenge starting September." I thought it was September 1st. And I go, "I would love to come in and administer this challenge. I will be your wellness coordinator for the 6 weeks. I will come in and do a lunch and learn every week or once a month or whatever. And I will take all the information." And so it's a great talking point for businesses or people that that have a business or any local schools. Karen Green is going to go. She's going into schools, PTA groups, teachers groups, and she's going to try and do like school against school. And they're going to have separate rooms. So the sky's the limit. Get creative. Use your quiet time to get creative and think about how you can incorporate this to build your business. And I'm just really excited about this. So that's coming up. And again, you can posit Dr. Anderson's 12-week challenge. That's totally up to you. Did any of you do his 12-week challenge last time? Okay. I signed up for it. I got the daily emails, and honestly, it was a bit too much for me. It was all those daily emails, and they were kind of long. So I didn't do that. So let's put Kim's got a lot of horsepower. Do you agree?
Yes. And
she's putting all her horsepower behind this 6-week challenge, as is Dr. Anderson. He's also involved in the 6-week challenge one. So I am the flea on the back of the elephant. and Kim's the elephant, and I'm just going to hang on. And so I really recommend that you do that as well. The way the challenge is run is that there's the way Kim describes it is that Kim is the house. Her presidential team is the house. Amber Smithson is going to have a house. I think Stephanie Golka is going to have her own house, and then we can have different rooms in her house. Now, last time I had a room, but maybe this time, like Tara, you might be on fire, and you might just want your own room, and you want to do your own thing, and you just guide your own clients. Bliss, if you get behind this, you might want your own room. June, you might want your own room. So, whatever. We can talk about that as team leaders. And I'm not attached to anything. So whatever you think, however hard you want to push for this, you can get your own room, have your own team and your own group, and administer this on your own. So, and I'm always here to help. So we can talk about that later. But start thinking about how you want to be creative with this. Let me see. Again, people do not have to be clients to be part of this. So it's fantastic. I love it. I want to hear, before we get to takeaways, I want to hear from Tara. Tara, tell us briefly, you came to convention one night. I want to hear what inspired you, and I want to hear what you've done since you've gotten back from convention.
Yeah, I was only able to attend Saturday night, I think it was, and Kim Fisk was speaking.
Friday night.
And I brought a friend who's interested in the program and coaching, and it was a really exciting night, and it was all stuff I'd heard before, great for my friend, and then we went to Kim's meeting, and she's just really inspiring. She was talking about dreaming and gave us some quiet time, which I realized I do not take advantage of myself. And it even made me want to inspire my kids to do that. We don't take enough time, I think, as people to dream, to imagine what could be, and to live there, like she said, to really stay in that place until it's real. And I've been doing this a year and a half. My business has all come very easy thus far. Not been where I'd love it to be, but it's been okay. It's been decent money and kept me motivated to stay healthy, and mostly family and friends and referrals. I've shared on my own Facebook page. I'm going to admit to all of you, never done a collecting yes phone call in a year and a half. And I was inspired that night. I was inspired to take it to the next level, to get over whatever fear was holding me back from creating the dreams that we have as a family for our business. So I came home and I made a to-do list for Monday morning. I'm really good at following to-do lists, and so I thought if I write down exactly who I'm going to call, I will do it, and that's how I work. And so I did that, and I was going to do that Monday morning, and Sunday night, because I was still on fire and dreaming and being creative ways to share, I went on a Facebook page that I'm a part of, just a group of moms, and shared my picture and my story like I do on my personal page. Same kind of thing. I think that there were 500 people in the group. And within 2 hours, I was completely overwhelmed with the response. Follow-up just really lit me on fire. So I briefly called Peggy, I think Monday afternoon, and I said, what happened? I created this to-do list, and then I had all these things get in my way. They were great things that I needed to focus on, and I did focus on, and then midway through the morning, I realized that was going to stop me from keeping to my list. And it was going to allow my fear of calling somebody new get in the way. And so I stopped. I kind of put aside the follow-up, sent some emails, got some phone numbers written down, and kind of made a new to-do list from those new contacts. But I sat staring at my phone thinking, I told her for 20 minutes, and I was calling a friend to share about the program, and I was going to follow the collecting yes script, and I was like, I have to stick to this. I made this goal, and I have to stick to it. And so it took me 20 minutes, even though I was really on fire, and I was really proud of myself, and I made that call. And they've not all been this easy, but my first one, she came over within an hour to my house and purchased her food. And all I did is follow the collecting yes script to a T. And she was very confused at the end when I asked her to forward the information, why I wasn't asking her. And she said, if I don't come over and sign up now, it'll just be some good idea that I had and that I never did. So she signed up, and she has continued to thank me every day for calling her when I did. Her husband, I guess, had seen me on Facebook and had been mentioning to her, do you talk to Tara? Because she's not on Facebook. And you saw her at the park. Did you talk to her about this? No, I didn't. The kids were around. And, so we'd both been making excuses for a long time, but I didn't know that. So that was really encouraging to me. Just somebody needed to hear it at that moment. And the to-do list, the preparing the night before, has helped me tremendously, especially being overwhelmed with new inquiries. I just really keep up with that so that I don't forget somebody. I think that's the worst thing to do, is say you're going to follow up and not call them back. So
That's great.
But yes, I'm overwhelmed. I haven't stopped working for 3 days straight, literally.
And then, because then you were home for a couple of days after convention, then you went camping for 4 or 5 days. So you just.
I was out of town. I was out of state for 4 days, and just the whole time, like, okay, I have to take a break from this, but I'm texting and emailing, and I'm going to be back on Monday, and just completely overwhelmed. So I've been on the phone since Monday morning, just nonstop. You can ask my family.
That is inspirational, but that's the massive action that's going to build your business and get you where you want to be. And think of the people you've helped in the last 10 days.
Yeah, I have 3 brand new clients, but I have many that are on the verge, Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thanks, Tara. Thanks for sharing that. It's inspirational. Does anybody else, I'd love to hear some takeaways from convention as we segue to everybody else, because I know everybody else was really impacted as I was. So takeaways.
So Peggy, you're starting to echo, and I just wondered, Bill, are you with us?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, and so what device are you on?
I'm on my computer, and I stopped the video because I'm eating dinner. Carol had just cooked dinner.
Okay. Well, maybe we mute Bill or something.
I
can mute mine.
I just muted Bill. Is
Yeah,
that Can you mute, and then when you want to talk, unmute. So Bliss, you want to go with your takeaways first?
Yeah, I'll go with my takeaways. And Tara really touched on one of them, and that was make your list the night before for what you're going to do. And I work like that too. I love to-do lists. I love to check it off. I love at the end of the day to come down and find my little one thing I haven't done. Oh, I can take care of that real quick before I go to bed. So so that was a good tip for me to do it the night before. I liked, and I heard this 1,000 different ways from 1,000 different people, and that is touch your business every day. Just do something for your business every day. And remember, you're making an impact on America. Sometimes we forget, we're so busy in our own little worlds trying to, rank up or do our, our own little goals, do our line on paper and fill in the line, whatever. but the truth is that we are making an impact on America through our work. And I like looking at it from the big picture. And then one of my final ones was, I was shocked to learn that 83 million people have sleep problems. That is a lot of Americans. And I like the idea that Take Shape for Life is, we talk about leading a balanced life, but now our product line is going to reflect that. So I really like that.
Great. Those are awesome. Thank you. That's so true. I love that, what your takeaway about remembering your impact. I'm taking notes, because I'm going to type these up too for the rest of our team. But you have an impact on people, and it is about that individual person and getting out of our way and letting our fears go, and just remembering that we could help someone save their life. So, Maureen, you're the first caller in here. You want to share your takeaways? You don't have to.
A lot of mine were, a lot of them were pretty similar as to Bliss, but I won't repeat, the same ones. But one that is a little bit different is just that I was really impressed with the people who went through the 12-week program and seeing the transformation that they had. So I am really going to make an effort to be a part of the 6-week September challenge, because of the change that I saw with the people that were there, and that they also became health coaches.
Great.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing for me is just that I'm probably going to need to drop some things that I'm involved in, because I do volunteer for different organizations. So I may need to, rather than piling more things on top of stuff, in order to do this work, I'm probably going to need to drop a few things if I'm really going to take this seriously.
Excellent.
I
love that. Getting lean. I think like the Tinters and the Woods have talked about getting lean. Get lean with your commitments. Get lean with your, and for some people, though, but then they clarified that. And they said, maybe you're not a person who's been involved in community organizations. Maybe you haven't been a volunteer. Maybe you haven't been out there. So if you haven't been a person that's done that, then get involved. Go volunteer at the local whatever and get involved in your community. But most of us are too involved. So it's just that getting lean mentality of focusing, put your head down and nose to the grindstone, and just make the, depending on what you want, make this be a real business and work it like a job. So,
and the main thing just one other thing I wanted to add is that when I say that, it's just because I know that I'll probably need to make this more of a priority. If you want to see something change in your business, that this will have to become a priority.
Yeah.
So Peggy, along with what you said, one thing I've heard the Tinters in the Woods say too is give up your reality TV for a season. Just one season. Don't watch TV at night. Make your phone calls at night.
Right.
So anyway, goes along with that.
Except for Downton Abbey. Sorry.
Yeah. Or Survivor, or
Oh yeah, right.
Okay.
It only comes out one night a week, so that that one I think I can squeeze in.
Right. That's great. Thank you, Maureen. I'm so glad you came to convention, Maureen. It was fantastic to meet you, and you have a very sweet spirit, and it was fun to get to know you a little bit. I think I'm way louder than you, so I don't think you got a chance to talk too much, because I was talking too much. Anyways, June and Sharon, are you there?
Yeah.
June, you want to share some takeaways from convention?
Well, one of my favorite workshops that I attended was the Vixen workshop, where they talked about acquiring coaches for your team. And I think that we all want our teams to grow. We all want to build our businesses. And my biggest takeaway from that was treat it like you would treat dating. So not only look for people, quality people the same way you would look for someone you would want to date, but also be the quality person as someone who would want to date you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I love this phrase. I don't know who I've heard it from. I've heard it from different sources. Would you want to? Oh, somebody help me. Would you want to be the client? Would you want to be your own client? Would you want to be your own coach? Would you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody help me. I know you've heard it too. I'm not saying it right. June, do you remember that?
I'm not sure what you're referencing, but yeah, but it's sort of a, reflect what you want to receive.
Correct.
Be the coach that you would want for yourself. Be the client that you would want for yourself.
Right. I love that Smithson workshop too. I think we're sitting together. I thought that really impacted me heavily. So that was really good. Great. Sharon's great. I'm glad you're there.
Oh, thank you. I'm enjoying this.
Super. All right, Missy Renee, I want to hear from you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'll just have a couple things to share. When I stood up in one of the classes, I was relating that I get to certain levels of promotions, even in my other businesses and even in my own, where I just stop. I get 1 or 2 promotions and I'll stop. And what the speaker told me, she said, you're feeling that you're not worthy of a promotion. And that kind of hit home. And so now I understand why I wasn't moving forward. So when I came back home, I started to do something about that. The other takeaway I had, I was talking to probably about 5 or 6 people that have lost 100 pounds. And one thing they was talking to me about was, if you don't look at us as we're overweight, just look at us that we don't have good coping mechanisms. And so that was really an eye-opener, because now, when you first talk to someone, say, well, how are you coping? What are your coping mechanisms? And she said, that's the reason why we're mostly overweight, is because we just can't cope with certain things. So I thought that was pretty powerful for me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one. That was just in a personal conversation you had.
Well, yeah, because I went there because I was still not sure. I came from network marketing that didn't treat me very well. And I wanted to be sure that this wasn't the same thing. So that's why I hung around a lot of the doctors, because I was thinking, if these doctors can see here, then I know it's got a lot of integrity. So I had to go through all those feelings and really see, well, are these people really losing 100 pounds? And when I started to talk to them and they started to relate their stories, I'm like, wow. And I just learned so much from them.
Wow. That's the power of the event as well. And you've heard Kim say this. I think I seem to always hear something new. But maybe there'll come a point where you don't hear anything new. But every event you go to, the energy and the experience of being with other coaches and hearing stories and just talking and networking, for lack of a better word, with other people, that's where the power is in these events. So anywhere you are, whatever part of the country, keep checking Coach Connection, keep checking your back office for local events in your area. There's one in Del Mar, I think, Tara. There's LA, San Diego's always having events, because that's a big team down there. And Annapolis, you guys have always have something going on there in DC. We're a little less.
Yeah, and June and I welcome anyone to come to Annapolis to an event. Come stay with us. We'll take you.
Okay, might take you up on that real quick. Okay, Mr. Bill.
Hey, did you mute me?
I unmuted you.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, I got to see excellent health coach in action with Renee, helping my wife on some of her knee problems, and it was really cool. But hey, I guess my takeaways from the national conference were many. The workshops are always really helpful to me, and I like the one by Ken Kochman or Kochman, whatever his name is.
Coachman, Ken Coachman, I think.
And he, the title of it was Sharing the Full Trilogy, but it was 1,000 times more than that. And, but, you know, it was really, my main takeaway was, hey, I have to get home and get serious. I have to do some small amount of time every day, a little bit in the business every day. And I started by organizing better and getting my folder system, throwing away my old folders, which were badly misused and out of date, and putting them in good shape, and developing some affirmations about my coaching and why I'm a coach, and really just kind of going back to basics. It's kind of like Lombardi always did, you know. Every fall he'd hold up a football and he'd say, "Gentlemen, you know, this is a football," and that's kind of what I needed to do. And so asking questions and learning to really build my skills better at asking, focusing on the right people, the people that are really ready, and then that kind of touching on the one I heard a minute ago is make yourself the person folks will go to when they are right. And so that was good stuff. I think the trilogy, I've started sharing the trilogy intentionally at the 3-week point, and with new clients, and I'm also actually seeing some incredible potential of people who hadn't ever even thought or heard about Take Shape for Life, but perhaps being great coaches. And don't laugh at me now, okay? Promise you won't laugh.
Promise.
But I actually think my granddaughters would be absolutely great at this. I got 3 18-year-old granddaughters, and at least 2 of them not only could do this, but they would be great at it. They don't have a weight problem, but the trilogy would work for them. And they, but anyway, that's kind of my main takeaway.
That's fantastic. And no, it's not silly. I think we have this gift in our hands of this business that is so fulfilling and so rewarding and helping people in all areas of their life. And there's so much freedom. It's really lucrative. It's fun. You know, you meet fantastic people, travel to fun places. I know it's not crazy at all to get these young people going and get them inspired to do this. So not crazy at all. Kathy D, what you got?
Okay, well, a lot of the stuff that Bliss and June, everybody's already mentioned, and Tara, I'm just trying to find something different in my notepad of all the stuff, the notes I took, which was like a zillion of them, until I just realized, I'm like, I haven't even taken my notepad out. I mean, I have all these thoughts in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to get this notepad out because I took a lot of notes. But Bill, when you were talking about family, if you look at all those Drollinger family, how many of them, like the Fist, they're all involved. So it's not crazy at all. I mean, I approach my family and there's not a whole lot of them that are interested, but it doesn't matter. They may be someday, but I think it's great, you know, if you got your granddaughters involved. But the one of the biggest takeaways was like, have the attitude of whatever it takes, because I tend to have a lot of little issues that are going on, like, oh, this is happening, that's happening, you know, and then I go, oh, I'll try tomorrow. I'm like going, okay, that's not a whatever it takes attitude. That and FYI, she doesn't have whooping cough, so that's awesome. We just my daughter texted me. No whooping cough.
Yay.
But yeah, the whatever it takes, and then keeping it simple. Dan Bell had a workshop about keeping it simple, and I wasn't going to go to the workshop, but then I went, you know what? I need to I'll just go because the other workshops weren't available. And then he was he just talked about some of the simple stuff that I already know about, but you know, sort of hearing it again just helped me out a lot. Hey, and making yourself, I don't know that word, that duplicatable. I know that's not the word, but so because people think, oh my gosh, it's too difficult if I start becoming this crazy person where I'm like researching and giving them research, then they go, I can't do that, or I don't want to do that. I kind of want to make it where they feel like, yeah, I could do what you're doing, right. And it doesn't sound that hard. So, because all of my coaches basically they're gone. They're like either not in action or they just petered out, and you know, they don't give me all the reasons why, but you know, who knows? Maybe it was because they felt like I can't do what either you're doing or Peggy's doing or somebody else is doing. It's just too much. I don't want to do it. So I'm like trying to keep it simple, and because it really is pretty simple. Once you sign up somebody, you get paid, and you just help them weekly. You don't even have to be that crazy of a person to do this. So I'm trying to, you know, kind of keep that in my mind frame and not try to be too difficult about it. So that's one of my big ones.
Excellent. Excellent. That's great. I love all these. I'll just share mine real quick. I think I had lost some mojo. I don't know. I let fear creep in, and just fear about opening my mouth. And since coming home from convention, I've been in action. I probably talked to a half a dozen people, just, you know, doing the whole collecting yeses thing, mostly face to face. But I am going to pick the phone up and get back at it. I haven't done that in a while. Haven't had to, but I need to get back on the horse and just practice, you know. But my fear lies, honestly, I'll just be vulnerable here with y'all, but with posturing the business end of it. And some of you are really good at this. June, you're fantastic at it, and that's not been my strength. But so I've been going back over my notes about that, and you know, so a big takeaway was stick with a decision long after the emotion subsides. That was a phrase, I don't know, someone said, but stick with the emotion stick with the decision long after the emotion subsides. And so we're all coming home, we're on fire from convention, and so let's just stick with the decision that we've made to build the business. So in light of all that, and so my decision is to build a team. And so I'm really going, like I said, I'm doing some wellness, trying to go through some wellness doors. I don't know if it's going to open or not, but the fact is I'm in action, I'm moving, I'm picking the phone up, I'm talking to people about it. So that for me is a huge thing. And just learning to ask people more questions. Like Bill said, ask them more questions, you know, and say, hey, there's a business part. Could you benefit from more time or for more money? You know, and just really asking some questions and digging things out from them rather than just saying, hey, I have an opportunity for you, you know, or, but really ask more questions. Could you benefit from creating a life that matters more to you, and making a life around what's the most important to you? And what does matter most to you? You know, just asking more questions. Do you know what I do? What do you think that I do? I love the whole asking questions of people. Let them talk and then filling in the blanks after I hear where they are and meeting them where they are. Meet people where they are. So it's going to require a lot more questions and a lot more listening. So anyways, that's my kind of my big takeaways for me. And I want to respect our time. It's 4:40 my time, but anybody else have any final thoughts or things you want to say, or something's come up even in the context of our sharing?
One thing that I had to change, put my ego in my pocket. I went down to June's house and I had her watch me on the phone for 5 phone calls. So I can get my 5 phone calls, and she critiqued me. She gave me some really, really good tips. And then yesterday I went over to Marine's house and had her listen to me. You know, so I'm just having to sit there and they're critiquing me, and it was incredible. You know, I got like 10 phone calls done, got entries to scripts. So I'm plugging in with June like every day. I'm going to plug in with Marine every day, and I just feel that that's really going to help me stay more focused. And they're going to help me so much. So I'm going to use them.
That's that. I want to give you a big hug. Oh, I love it. That is humble. You're teachable. You're creating. Hi, Tara's husband. You're creating your own culture of vulnerability and honesty and authenticity, and that is beautiful, and that is going to be an attraction to people. That sweet aroma of your spirit and your willingness to be taught and listen and learn, that is fantastic. Renee, thank you so much for sharing that. And that's hard to have somebody, listen to a phone call and critique that. That's not easy. That is not easy. It's never easy to have someone tell you, this is what I'm hearing, and to have it sting just a little bit. But that's where you grow, you guys. Run to the roar. Run to the roar and let those little stings come, because they're going to make you better. Fantastic.
So you were talking about, do we have anything else that we want to say? I know that a lot of us register for convention next year. And, while we were at convention in Anaheim, and one thing that Ashley and I did when we got home and we had our mentor call is we set goals just very lofty. Like, how many coaches do we want to have sitting on our row at next convention? And so, I don't know, something to think about for yourself. Maybe put it on a yellow sticky, put it on your monitor. At convention, I said 10. I want 10 coaches with me, and that includes Bill and Ashley and Barbara that I already have. So I need 7 more. Sure. So anyway.
Love it. I think I had 6 last year, and we had 10 this year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I should say 20 at least.
Okay.
There's also that Jamil made presidential.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not fantastic. Jamil's presidential. So yeah,
fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that.
I know. I'm so happy. So, and we all know him, and he's just a great guy and a loving, kind man, and he's a good business person, and he's worked hard, and you know what? We can all do it.
Well, the fact that he had quit coaching for a period of time and then went back to it, his story from a couple years ago, yeah. I'm amazed at where he's at now when he could have been long gone. Yeah. So kind of crazy.
Right. Stick with the decision long after the emotion subsides. Mm-hmm. Stick with it. Touch your business every day. Okay. Anybody else? We're going to end up here. I don't want to make it go long. Maureen, you good?
Oh, I'm great. I'm going to be joining a high five group tomorrow.
Oh, that's the other thing. Thank you, Maureen. I'm sorry, my dog. Is that bothering you? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'm going to go outside. It's hot. It's 102. I'm going to go outside. Okay. There's high five groups and ED to B groups coming up. And I talked to Kim today, and the ED to B groups are ready to go, except and there's a separate Facebook page for ED to B people, but she's not ready to put anybody in there yet who, like Kathy, I know, she said, you've signed up, you filled out the application form, because we don't have the time slots ready yet for the training calls or for the synergy calls. And she doesn't want to put ED to Bs in that Facebook group until the calls are all ready to go. And so once you get in there, you sign up for a call immediately, and you know what to do. If we put you in that group now, it's like a whole lot of waiting around, and she wants to have it all ready. So there's, if you're not a senior coach, I think everybody here except for Maureen, maybe, Sharon. So if you're not a senior coach, there are senior coach calls. If you coach to senior coach calls, and they're called high five groups, and they're fantastic. If you're a senior coach to ED, we have new groups starting called ED to B. And I really recommend you hop on there once a week. You're going to be top trainers on Kim's team. I think Kim's going to you have to be a fully integrated business coach, I think, to be a trainer on those calls. So they're going to be just the top leaders on her team, and they're once a week, half-hour calls, and it's gonna help. It's gonna totally help build your business. And there's again, if you've seen the high five list, they've had, I think, 10 or 15 calls a week at various times. So there's be plenty of options to hop in. And as you build your team and you get new coaches, immediately let me know or let your mentor coach know, and we'll get them in that high five group and get them on a high five call. So as you start building your team, we have these resources. So they're going to have you as a mentor coach, and they're going to have this third-party voice called High Five Calls that are going to also help them. So I love the direction that Kim's going with this, and the training and the teamwork. She's creating this real culture of teamwork. So that's that. Thank you, Maureen, for saying that. Okay.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anybody else? Sharon, you good?
Yep, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right, you guys. Thanks for being on the call. And I would love to connect with us as a team more often. I'm looking for input and ideas. So there's two things we could do. It's either or both, I guess. We could do a monthly check-in like this, maybe towards the end of the month, and just do this with all of us. There's also been some interest expressed by some of the coaches on our team of perhaps a daily check-in, like just for like Monday through Friday, 15-minute, 20-minute check-in call. What'd you do yesterday? What are you doing today? Go. And just for accountability, just for connection, and make it short and sweet. So you don't have to answer here, but think about that. If that would be helpful for you, we can try and find a time. I'm on the Pacific time, but I'd be willing to get up at 5 or 5:30 and do an early morning call like that, or we could do it later on at night after the day is done, kind of thing. So I'm open. I want to be what you guys need, and I want to facilitate whatever activities or IPAs would move your business. So be thinking about that, and I'm going to stop the recording.